What's up, guys? This video is for all of the teenagers out there who are looking to get themselves in shape, put on some muscle, but it's also going to be relevant for a lot of you guys who might not be teenagers, but at some point in your life you're going to have kids of your own, so all of this advice is relevant. Now, when I was putting this video together, I wanted to get somebody else involved, ideally a teenager of some sort, so I could ask them a couple questions. So I decided to throw a little shout out on my Instagram and see who wanted to train with me. And the lucky person was Joe Broom, a 16-year-old who lived pretty close to my area. So I invited him down to my place. We had a training session and a little bit of a Q&A afterwards. How long have you been training for?
About a year.
A year now, yeah.
About a year and a half. A year properly though, like properly getting into it.
And what was your reason for getting into training and lifting weights?
I've always kind of been like tall and a bit skinny. So
yeah, he's kind of taller than me. He's like 6'2", 6'3".
So, yeah.
Big guy. Now, like Joe, a lot of you teenagers out there who are just starting up with the gym are going to want to bulk up or get a little bit stronger. I know that was one of the reasons why I got into lifting in the first place. But the big question is, how are you going to do it?
I've just heard from people like, you've got to lift heavy, eat a lot to get bigger.
So most people will automatically think, okay, I walk into a gym, what do I need to do? I need to pick up these weights and I need to lift as heavy as possible, and I need to eat more. Which in a way, yes, it is going to work to some extent. If you start eating more and you lift more, you're naturally going to put some more size on. But it's not quite as simple as that. When you're looking for knowledge and looking for basically learning more about gym and nutrition, do you just use YouTube now, or do you use anything
pretty
else?
much some stuff on Instagram, like people post on Instagram, and then YouTube. Yeah,
that's one thing you got to watch out for, though. There's a lot of people on social media who,
it's true,
with a huge following, that are often just chatting nonsense. So you guys are going to have to go out there and search for knowledge. And I can appreciate that when you are a teenager, you don't have much money to spend, if any. I know when I was like 16, 17, 18, my disposable income was like that. I was not going to go out and start hiring personal trainers and pay for expensive online coaches. It's just not going to happen. So you have to go out there and see what you can get for free, or at least get something which is going to be on the cheap. Are you currently following a training program, or?
I'm not really. I kind of like managing myself. I'm kind of bulking, so I just eat.
You track your macros?
Yeah, occasionally. Like I kind of do it a little bit less. Like now I'm getting bigger.
Now I've seen this a lot with youngsters. They just go into the gym. They have no plan or structure whatsoever. They just kind of wing it and improvise their session on the spot. I'm not saying this isn't going to deliver results at all, but the level of progress you're going to see is going to be much higher if you actually follow a specific program which has been designed to help maximize muscle hypertrophy. It doesn't have to be necessarily customized to you, but if you get a good training program which is going to hit all muscle groups equally, then your rate of progress is going to be through the roof. Hint, hint, buy my program. Are you at college?
Yeah.
You living at home?
Yeah.
So is food paid for?
Yeah,
so that's good. That's the good thing when you're a teenager. Most of the time, you don't have to pay for food.
Yeah.
But when it comes to your meals and stuff, are you preparing them, or does like?
I prepare them.
Okay, that's good. So this one's a bit of a tough one. Some people are going to have it easier than others, right? They'll go home, and parents might make their food for them, and the food which is put in front of them might be quite healthy and rich in protein. Whereas other individuals, other teenagers out there, they might not be growing up in a household where food is as healthy as it possibly can be, or is necessarily going to be rich in protein. Now, when I was a kid, and I was a teenager, and I was kind of getting into it a little bit, I'd ask my dad, hey, when you go in your shop, can you just get some extra chicken breasts, or can you get this? I'd maybe just suggest to him, can you get these extra things when you go out shopping, which was a big help for me. But if that is not going to be an option for you, then it might be the case you have to go out and buy certain things for yourself, or even just prepare your own meals. Now, a lot of people seem to think that lifting stunts your growth. Now, I've done some research on the topic. I've not seen any studies which have proven that lifting weight does in fact stunt the growth of a teenager. But I mean, that's just assuming that you're not doing anything stupid, lifting every single day or more than once a day, and you're lifting outrageously heavy weights. I think you'll be okay. I'd just say to you guys, make sure that you get any sleep, particularly if you're going through a point where you are growing, you're going through a growth phase. Sleep is everything. Would you say that you're, obviously you have these physiques in mind which you want to kind of strive for?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're in a rush?
No, because one thing I have learned is that it just takes time to get a better physique. Like it takes longer to bulk up, it takes longer to cut down.
And you're 16 at the moment.
16,
yeah. So I started when I was 17. So you kind of got a year.
A little bit of a
year on me.
So when I'm 24, I'll be vegan. Actually, I already am vegan.
So a lot of you guys, you'll be on social media, you'll be following, I assume, quite a few athletes out there who do have pretty outrageous physiques. And you just have to understand that these guys are more than likely doing this as a full-time job, and that a lot of them have been training for 7, 8 years or more. I've been training for 10 years, okay?
Is there any times where you feel like you've not been able to go to the gym for like other commitments or anything else?
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's true. GCSEs also, I did my GCSEs.
Yeah, how did your training change when you were revising?
Didn't really, but I mean,
oh, you still trained?
Yeah, I still trained a lot, but I revised a bit, yeah. So
yeah, you got to focus on your exams, kids.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Because I remember when I had exams coming up, I still trained a little bit, but obviously the amount I trained was reduced. But I had that as my kind of escape from revising. So I'd revise all day, then I'd go train, and it was my release, and I'd chill.
So stay in school and prioritize your exams. Okay, you have the rest of your life to go out there and train and get the physique you want. You only have once in a lifetime opportunity to boss your exams, so make sure that you get them nailed and do the best you possibly can do. One thing which I have noticed with a couple of youngsters, I get this question quite a bit: how do you prevent stretch marks from happening? They basically happen if you are growing too quickly for the skin to stretch out. So that's usually just a case of you doing too much in a short period of time. So if you do notice any slight signs of stretch marks occurring, slow right down, okay? Because if you keep up at the rate at which you're going, you're just going to continue to grow, and the stretch marks are going to get bigger, and the stretch marks are there for life, okay? So see it as a sign, a warning sign, slow things right down.
Also, going out and partying. You had a few drinks last night, didn't you? Comes to train with Mike Thurston after a night out. Jesus Christ. So obviously with the youngsters out there, even I did this as well, you go out and party quite a bit, so alcohol consumption isn't going to be ideal.
Now a lot of people have asked me to do a video on alcohol and how it affects your physique, but I'm not going to bother, or at least not at this stage, because it would be a very short video, okay? I will summarize it for you right now. The more alcohol you consume, the more detrimental it's going to be on your physique and your rate of progress. It's as simple as that. You can still make progress and drink, but you have to understand that the more you drink, the slower the progress is going to be. And you can't really be in a situation where you're complaining about not seeing progress if you're going out every weekend and getting pissed and not sleeping and just binge drinking, okay? You have to have the balance, or at least you have to. If you do go out, just keep it to a minimum. It's as simple as that. One big thing as well, which I notice with youngsters, is when you're in the gym, you're kind of out there to just like impress your mates or to kind of outdo each other. It's almost seen like having a bit of street cred if you can walk around and say, oh yeah, well I can bench press this, whereas you can only bench press that kind of thing. And I did notice it a bit with Joe when he came to the gym when I was training with him. I feel like he was almost trying to impress me with how much he could lift. But to be honest with you, I do not care how much you can lift, right? I am impressed by the way you're lifting, okay? Good technique is going to impress me more than anything. And because a lot of you guys are young, you've not been in the game for long, and you've only been training for a short period of time, just prioritize the foundations of each lift and try and execute the exercises as best as you possibly can do, because you have all the time in the world to lift heavier weight. So like I said before, just don't rush it. Right? Form is everything. If you don't have the form right and you try and lift heavier and heavier and heavier, your technique's going to be terrible. You're going to possibly injure yourself. And the problem is, if you've got it drilled into your head of lifting a weight a certain way, and that's bad form, it's going to be harder for you to undo that and actually lift the right way further down the line, if that makes sense. You don't want to create bad habits at an early stage. So thank you guys for watching. Big shout out to Joe for getting involved in this video. Much appreciate, my man. If you do have any questions about this topic, any of you teenagers out there, just drop a question in the comment section. I'll do my best to get back to you. If you're interested in training programs, you can get them on my website, www.mikethurston.co.uk. They are not expensive. You get a whole lot for your money. Particularly even the most basic programs to begin with, you get at least 10 weeks of programming. So if you're one of those teenagers going to the gym and you don't have a clue what you're doing, you're just winging it and improvising on the spot, you're going to be much better off following a program which I have designed, okay? So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.